Turbo C is an integrated development environment and compiler for the C programming language from Borland. First introduced in 1987, it was noted for its integrated development environment, small size, fast compile speed, comprehensive manuals and low price. In May 1990, Borland replaced Turbo C with Turbo C++. In 2006, Borland reintroduced the Turbo moniker. Early history. In the early 1980s, Borland enjoyed considerable success with their Turbo Pascal product and it became a popular choice when developing applications for the PC. Borland followed up that success by releasing Turbo Basic, Turbo Prolog and Turbo C. Turbo C had the same properties as Turbo Pascal, an integrated development environment, a fast compiler, a good editor and a competitive price. Turbo C was not as successful as the Pascal sister product. First, C was a language for professional programming and systems development rather than a school language. Turbo C competed with other professional programming tools. Turbo C did, however, have advantages in speed of compiled code, large project support and price. It is developed in C. Version history, version 1.0, released on May 13, 1987, offered the first integrated edit compile run development environment for C on IBM PCs. The software was, like many Borland products of the time, bought from another company and branded with the Turbo name, in this case Wizard C by Bob Jervis. It ran in 384 kilobytes of memory. It allowed inline assembly with full access to C symbolic names and structures, supported all memory models, and offered optimizations for speed, size, constant folding, and jump elimination. Version 1.5, in January 1988 was an incremental improvement over version 1.0. It included more sample programs, improved manuals and bug fixes. It was shipped on 5 360 kilobytes diskettes of uncompressed files, and came with sample C programs, including a stripped-down spreadsheet called mcalc. This version introduced the Conio H header file. Version 2.0, in 1989 was in late 1988, and featured the first blue screen version, which would be typical of all future Borland releases for MS-DOS. The American release did not have Turbo Assembler or a separate debugger. Turbo C, ASM, and debugger were sold together as a suite. This seems to describe another release, featured Turbo Debugger, Turbo Assembler, and an extensive graphics library. This version of Turbo C was also released for the Atari ST, but distributed in Germany only. Note on later releases, the name Turbo C was not used after version 2.0, because with the release of Turbo C++ 1.0 in 1990, the two products were folded into a single product. That first C++ compiler was developed under contract by a company in San Diego and was one of the first true compilers for C++. The next version was named Borland C++ to emphasize its flagship status and completely rewritten in-house, with Peter Kuchel as the lead engineer. The Turbo C++ name was briefly dropped, eventually reappearing as Turbo C++ 3.0. There was never a 2.0 of the Turbo C++ product series. 1987, Turbo C 1.0, 1987, Turbo C 1.1, 1988, Turbo C 1.5, 1989, Turbo C 2.0, 1990, Turbo C++ 1.0, 1991, Turbo C++ 1.01, 1991, Turbo C++ 2.0, 1992, Turbo C++ 3.0, Borland split the product in two lines, one for beginners and one for professionals. At first they were called Turbo and Turbo Professional, later simply have Turbo, and Borland. They developed C++ to 1996 in these two lines next to the version of Turbo C++ 3.0 and Borland C++ 5.0. As with Turbo Pascal, there was also a Turbo C++ for Microsoft Windows, which reached version 4.5. Turbo C for the Atari ST ended with version 2.0. The program was not maintained by Borland, but the product was sold and renamed Pure C. From 1996, Delphi became Borland's principal and highly successful Pascal toolkit. A similar release based on C++ became Borland C++ Builder, which replaced Borland C++. Freeware release. In 2006, Borland's successor, Embarcadero Technologies, re-released Turbo C and the MS-DOS versions of the Turbo C++ compilers as freeware. See also, Turbo Assembler, Turbo Debugger, references. External links, Borland.com, Borland Developer Network Museum, TurboExplorer.com, Turbo Explorer homepage. New downloadable versions of Turbo brand tools, CodeGear.com, Turbo C++ version 1.01, CodeGear.com, Turbo C 2.01, Borland.com, Turbo C 2.01 free download, Borland.com, Turbo C++ 1.01 available for download by registered users of other products, Computer Museum Munkunde, Computer Museum in Munich with a large collection of software, including Turbo C 1.0 FF, Sandroid.org, Turbo C. Libraries for Unix porting, NUDA, GRX graphics library compatible with GraphicsLib for X11 output.